first episode of Alumni Interview Series by the Muldoon Center, where we interview alumni of the entrepreneurship minor. Our first guest today is John Tucci, an alumnus of the class of 2019. Thank you for joining us. Can you give the viewers a bit of background about yourself, how you wound up at Carroll, and a bit of where you're at now?
Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. Thanks for having me here today. As Andrew mentioned, my name is Johnny Tucci, class of 2019. I'm originally from Chicago, Illinois, where I'm currently residing today. And I wound up at Carroll for a couple of reasons. One of which being I went to a Jesuit high school, and the Jesuit identity was something that was important to me and something that I value still to this day. And in addition to that, I played football, and I was able to play football at John Carroll. So with those two reasons, coupled with when I stepped on campus, it was a pretty amazing school. That's kind of why. And currently, what I'm doing today, I'm an account executive at Salesforce. I've actually worked for Salesforce since the end of my junior year, start of senior year in the summer as an intern, and have worked with them, after graduation for about 2.5 years now, and really have enjoyed it. I'm an account executive, so work within sales, selling to small business customers in Charlotte, in financial services. So that's what I'm up to now, and I'm really excited to be here today.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that background on yourself. As this is a series about the entrepreneurship program, could you tell us what drew you to the entrepreneurship minor during your undergrad years at Carroll?
Yeah, I think it was a handful of things. I think one of the first things is the people. So the people within the program and the professors really, they weren't normal, boring professors. They were people that I knew right away really wanted to invest in me and really wanted my time and wanted me to do well. So the professors in that regard was really something special. Into, I'm not necessarily someone that's a bookworm. I like that the entrepreneurship courses were about thinking and development and actually running with ideas. To me, when the best way that I learn is I learn by doing, and a lot of the entrepreneurship minor is doing, failing, and understanding why you failed and what's going to make you not fail within the future. So really, the people in the structure of the program itself.
Very cool. You definitely alluded to some of those things, like being prepared to handle failure and such. In your current role as an account executive, in what ways has the entrepreneurship minor prepared you for your career? Like, how has it best served you?
I think a lot of different ways. I think, I fight fires on a daily basis, whether it's with an angry client, a misquote, a customer that doesn't want to sign a deal for whatever reason. And really, the tools that I learned in that minor have allowed me to not only, circumvent those issues, but also to develop solutions to those problems that I don't know if I would have understood otherwise. I think the minor challenged me to really think outside the box in, whether it was, not delivering a formal just PowerPoint pitch, but really thinking outside the box, getting creative with a customer, sending them, different resources or texting about, the baseball game and doing different things that are just completely not exactly what you would get in a traditional business setting. For me, the entrepreneurship minor kind of taught me and told me that, you can do what you want to do and you can accomplish what you want to accomplish. There's 1,000 ways to go about it. And we're going to help you clear up what ways you're good at and work on the ways that you're not so strong at. So to me, that's really where I think the minors best served me overall. In really, it's a day-to-day thing that, I'm sure I could sit here and talk about what I learned today that, is connected, but I think that's kind of the biggest lesson that I would say is connected from my experience.
That's all great stuff, John. I'm so glad that you found all this stuff from the minor that's been able to be applied to your career in such effective ways. One last question for you before I let you go here. If you were to pitch to a incoming JCU student why they should partake in the entrepreneurship minor, what would that pitch be?
Yeah. So first, great question. I think, whether, and this is for incoming students, correct? Or a JCU current student? Both?
Either incoming or just JCU students currently.
Yeah. So to the JCU student who's a little bit confused and says, I think I want to go business. I think I want to go into PT. I want to be a high school football coach. I want to be a work in a nonprofit. I think this minor really applies to all of you. It definitely allows you to understand and think differently. And it's the classes are not normal, do problems and bring them to class. They're thinking, it's talking, it's discussions. It's ultimately, more of what your day to day is going to look like in the problem solving, in the lessons that you learn and take away from these classes will help you in your career on after. And we all know college is, time to learn and grow, as are the first few years outside of your career. And really, with that, I've been able to take the lessons I've learned from the minor and really kickstart my career. And to the JCU student, to the prospective JCU students, I'd say that, when you're looking at a school, look at a school that values creativity and innovation. And that's all this program is about, really changing, developing, and growing over time. And I'm sure the core values are still there from when I was there, but I know for a fact that people running the program value innovation and are looking to make it better in every aspect that they can.
What a great pitch. Thank you, John, so much for your time and for sharing your experience with the minor with us.
Yeah, absolutely. Go Blue Streaks.